So I wanted to kind of share a little experiment that I've had with our RadCity bikes. So my wife and I both have the same RadCity Step Thru 3s. This is my wife's bike here in the front with a basket, and mine is the one in the back there. But one of the things that we looked at was, I think most people upgrade the seats and do some other add-ons. But one of the things we were looking at was suspension posts, and I have one on my other truck hybrid. So I thought, yeah, let me give it a shot. But I didn't want to drop a lot of money on the Sun Tour, so I found on Amazon some Zoom seat post, suspension post, and this is it right here for about 30 bucks. And I thought, we'll give it a shot for about 30 bucks, see how it goes. So I did put it on my wife's bike, and you can see how it hooks there to the Cloud 9 seat. And for her, it works really good. My wife's about 5'4", and not an issue height-wise. Definitely makes a difference going over the bumps. So she has a noticeable difference. But for me, I actually had a little bit of an issue. And the main thing was that the post is shorter than the stock post. So what you see now is the original stock post that I switched back to. And that is a 27.2 by 390 millimeter post. Whereas the Zoom and most of the other suspension posts that I was finding online are only 350. And the issue you run into is on your post, there is a maximum height safe limit that you can raise the post. So with the 350, if I put it to the same spot as my other one, what's happening is I lose a little bit, and while it looks like it's about the same on the rails, the issue that you run into is you get a little bit of compression. So what was happening for me was I couldn't quite get the same leg extension, which put a little bit more stress on my knees and thighs when I was pedaling. So I can't quite get the suspension post high enough to be a comfortable fit for me on the bike. So swap back, went to my original stock suspension, rode about 16 miles yesterday, no issue. So the only thing I would say for those that might be a little bit taller and are looking at a suspension post to add is that you might need to just factor in the length. So the stock 390 length versus most other posts being 350, you could lose a little bit of difference unless you're going with something like the Sun Tour seat post that I think adds about 4 inches, so you can probably offset that. But if you're looking for a basic post, just know that that could be a issue that you'll have to deal with. So just something that we learned. I'm out 30 bucks, but it was worth the experiment, and who knows, I might reuse this on one of my other bikes, or if something happens to my wife's bike, at least now I've got a spare. But just keep in mind as you're looking at suspension post that you do also have to factor in the height and the length of the suspension post, depending on how tall of a rider you are.